Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for a max effort upper day. And a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below. It would be greatly appreciated. So on to the training. I went ahead and went with regular bench press, pinkies on the rings, paused, 54 pounds of chains. Stopped at a good training max. This one, yeah, it's very clear that this is just a training max. My deload week probably made me a lot stronger on pressing. And I think we'll see that when we get to the accessory work too. Yeah, this was definitely not a max. But that's okay. I don't want to overdo myself first week back from a deload, because sometimes I get pulls and stuff easy. My hamstrings cramped super bad yesterday. They have DOMs today, from the first day back training yesterday. So I called it there. And we may start trying to hit some bigger numbers on the bench coming up. So I went ahead and, in keeping with my trend of getting that power out of the bottom, okay, building my chest, Operation Get Fat into Teddies, I decided to go with my buffalo bar. I want to work with this for just a little while for my main pressing. So instead of pause benching with the straight bar, we're doing buffalo bar, pinkies on the ring, so that we get a long range of motion. It was a little awkward at first. I haven't used this bar for any decent amount of pressing other than the speed work lately. So it took me a set or so to get into my groove. So I got 8 reps, then 9 reps, and 10 reps, which means next workout we'll go ahead and get 10, 10, 10, and then we'll start loading it up. We'll try to micro load it up. So it went well, because keeping in mind I was only doing 10s with 230 with the straight bar. This is a harder bar. Again, more mechanical tension being placed on the pec at its weakest position. So again, it will build more chest. So really we're getting a lot of stretch on the pecs. A lot of stretch on the pecs. And you guys are going to notice a trend with most of my stuff. Most of my muscles, I'm picking two exercises, at least for the upper body. I'm doing a barbell movement and a dumbbell movement. And I'm doing them at the same angles. At this time, I'm not worried about doing different angles for the back, chest. I might work in some decline stuff. I almost feel like with the McDonald bar, I might need to do some decline with it, right, at first, while I work on the ability to use it correctly. Right, so we may do that. I decided to go with bent over rows for a while. I've been putting thought into it, and as much as I like pin lay rows, as much as I program pin lay rows, I think there's something to be said for building your deadlift with bent over rows too. I want to run them for a while. I've hit some pretty big deadlifts in the past while doing these instead of pin lays, right? Hit some pretty big deadlifts in the past. The difference, it's harder on the grip. The grip is enormously different. I might get to a point to where I have to start strapping up for these. Or I might go with one of my deadlift bars, right? One of my deadlift bars, so it's easier to grip, because it's a little coarser, smaller grip, if grip starts to become a factor. But the forearm pump is tremendous. Not using straps on these, it's hard. And you got to complete these sets fast. That's the one thing I'm noticing, because your grip will start to give out. If you can get these sets done fast and not play around, just get them done. It works. And these lit my back up, because this is a novel training response. I'm not used to doing this. I haven't done normal bent over rows in many years. But again, if we start thinking about the tension on the back, considering I'm messing with RDLs, and if you look at what's going on here and where my weak points are on the deadlift, I think this really might help me with my back position. Maintaining back tightness, all of that. And so I went ahead and did these with both a barbell and dumbbells today. So we started with 225, and I managed to get like 11 or 12 reps on the third set. So we'll try to start bumping the weight up, progressively overload it. It's going to be a lot of extra grip work, but you know what? It'll help build my grip, so that's okay. And grip can be a little weak sometimes coming back from a deload week. Now, first set of these were rough, and I had to take my headphones out because they were getting in the way. It made the set harder. I bumped the weight. This is 99 pounds. It's technically 99 and some change, but it's not enough to round up. I know I wanted to go at hundreds, but when I started looking at the way my plates are set up, can't do exactly 100, unless I want to put a fractional plate on just one side or something. It's not really workable. So I went ahead and added 5 pounds to the 94. It's technically 99.1. Whatever. So it's 99. Round it down. But I got my 3 sets of 10. They were challenging though. Now I managed to get 13 with the 94, so I didn't think I'd lose that many reps, but yeah, they were still tough. But PR. We're more or less at 100-pound dumbbells. It's less than a pound away. But we're in a good spot with these. And I think I'll try to micro-load it up. I think next session, since it's going to be a speed day, I'm going to try to add a microplate. Okay, so we'll go over 100 pounds. We'll see if we can still get our 3 sets of 10. And even if we can't, we can build up. We can build up. I used the same dumbbells for these rows. They were too light, so I did 12s. And then I did like, I think 13 or something for the final one. Trying to maintain that same back position. All right. Now the grip was much easier to hold on these. For some reason, these versus the barbell, it was easier on the grip. It was still challenging, but workable. Got a great pump through my whole back. And the thing you guys will notice, I'm not doing pull-ups or chin-ups. I've started thinking about it. As much as I like them, I don't need them right now. If we look at what my goals are, this stuff carries over. I need my upper back thicker for my benching. Give a position for my squat. Hey, my lats are big. My lats grow from rows. I don't need chin-ups. I'm doing curls. I don't need chin-ups or pull-ups either for arms. That's really where they shine. They're not even better for your back. But the other thing I need to continue to be strong isometrically in my low back. I need to be able to hold these positions. And I think doing bent over rows and bent over row variations combined with the RDLs should start pushing my conventional deadlift back up. Even though I'm training sumo right now, you guys know how that goes. Conventional deadlift doesn't require you to conventional deadlift. I walked in and broke 600, 605, then 615 after going months without doing conventional deadlifting before. Okay? It's not necessary. Sumo will build it, but then these other movements will too. So I'm going to use some of this supplemental work to do that. We're going to use some of the supplemental work to do that. These, I bumped the weight quite a bit. I had been working these up, trying to get used to using the long head, getting the correct range of motion. I think I did 72.5 last time. I just jumped up to 85, and I managed to get my 3 sets of 10. We need to keep loading these up. Right? I need to keep loading these up. Now that I can do these correctly, my shoulders don't hurt. I found the bar and the grip that lets me do these without shoulder pain. Lets me get that extension that lets me work the long head so that it works all 3 heads of the tricep. These are going to be a primary tricep builder. The dumbbell movement's going to be a secondary. So I'm not doing any real closed grip benching other than on speed day for part of the speed work. I'm going to need these movements to bring these triceps up a lot. So I'm going to have to push this hard. This is going to be a big one. I need to progress on it. Now that I've got the stretch that I want on it, I can do it without my shoulders hurting. We'll keep ramping this weight up. We'll try to add weight every session as long as I can still get 10 reps. So that's what we're going to do. Again, got to bring the arms up. And you guys will notice, what did we do here? I did two exercises for pressing, 2 exercises for pulling, 3 sets each. Where does that put me? 6 sets. 6 sets for pecs, lats, most of my back, front delts, all of that. Okay. If you average that twice a week, that puts us right where we need to be. We're in our sweet spot for work. And considering they're pretty well limit sets, everything was felt like within a rep of failure, at least at the end. Not so much with the first sets of the benching. But again, novel exercise. Everything else was challenging. All right, that puts us right where we need to be. We're in our perfect growth zone for volume. I did the same thing for my delts and my arms. Okay, 2 types of curls, 2 types of tricep extensions, 2 types of delt exercises. So again, 6 sets for each. Now, people say, well, do any of the others count? They count as half sets. All right, we can count that pressing as half sets for triceps, half sets for biceps. So with 6 work sets each, that brings me up to 9. Everything works delts, but delts get complicated, don't they? All right, the front delts, rear delts got worked pretty hard. But I needed to make sure that the whole upper back, rear delts, side delt, all that gets worked, which you guys will see at the end. Barbell curls, though. Let me cover these while the footage is still rolling. I went to the straight bar curls today. Picked up where I left off last time. Was able to perform the reps, just barely. Was able to get 10 with these, doing the full range of motion. Notice that we are doing full range of motion now. No drag curl type stuff. I'm bringing that barbell up to my face, and I'm locking my arms at the bottom. as far as my arms will lock. So we're doing full range of motion. And I got my 3x10. Although it was challenging, it's going to be hard to increase on that. I'll see what I can do. Lateral raises, bump the weight a hair. Went with 32.5s, got my 3x10s. I lean forward slightly, so notice the position. I do lean forward slightly to get a little more posterior focus, so the little less anterior delt, because otherwise this is actually hits all three heads evenly. A lot of people don't know that. They haven't looked at any of the data. A lateral raise actually works all three heads of the delt and the upper trap. It is a full work set for all of them, right? So my front delts with this added in got 9 work sets. That's why I don't need any overhead pressing or anything. I don't care about it. I'm not going to do any overhead work anymore for a while. Chin-ups, pull-ups, overhead pressing. It's not even ideal for my shoulder health. It's not necessary for me to build a big bench, squat, or deadlift either. It's time to specialize. Now, I'm still going to care about all my angles. I'm going to want to be strong at sumo, strong at conventional. I need to be strong at wide grip, strong at close grip, but I'm still stronger on close grip. So we need to get the wide grip as strong as possible. I should be stronger on it, and that's why I have to build the pecs. But again, all these small movements are filling in the gaps. Filling in the gaps, and they make you look more like you lift. As I continue to trim body fat, all this delt and arm work will make me just look bigger. Again, I'll look closer to what my size actually is. Because I've noticed that people sometimes, if they don't see big arms, they don't realize how big someone actually is. Or if they don't get lean enough. So, okay, as we're continuing to diet down, I'll bring up all these areas. I'll bring them up. And they'll all help my bench, won't they? All those muscles contribute to a bench. But we're looking at a lot of the upper back and stuff, specifically, though, to bring up all 3 of my lifts. Squat, bench, and deadlift. So all 3 heads of the traps, the rear delts, rhomboids, all that area. It's got to bring it up. And some people would say, well, your lats getting worked enough. I'm also doing RDLs on my lower days. Those work lats. My lats are getting hammered. Here we go, dumbbell extensions, though, to work the triceps from a different angle, because we do the other one with a little more shoulder extension. These, I just bring them straight down. Again, it's very easy on your elbows. Managed to rep PR on this. I may be able to bump the weight up a hair. May be able to bump that weight, but it might be hard because I'm going to keep increasing the weight on the exercise before it, so I'm going to be fatigued by the time I get here. Just like with the incline curls today, I couldn't get more than 10 reps. After doing those standing curls, the incline curls, I couldn't get more than 10. I do want you to note, though, that notice I try to start at the top on these so that I do an eccentric rep on the first rep, because I want a deep stretch reflex. We do not pause at the bottom. I'm getting the stretch. Why? Because we already have a different movement. We already have the standing curl. I want to get a stretch reflex on the second exercise. Number 2, the incline curl allows you to do it better than just about any other lift. All right, this offers a degree of protection to your biceps when you deadlift. All right, we're helping strengthen that tendon in a stretch position. All right, we can reduce our chances of a bicep rupture on mixed grip on deadlift. In addition to making your arms bigger, this is a mainstay. A lot of bodybuilders, even OG bodybuilders back in the day, before they were pinning their arms all the time, this was a favorite, and for good reason. It gives a long range of motion and a stretch reflex on the bicep if you do it correctly. All right, combining that with those straight bar curls for a full range of motion, we have completely and thoroughly worked the bicep. I dare anyone to say, oh, the biceps were not completely worked to their maximum potential in this workout, because they were. And all of our forearm and brachialis and radial brachialis got hammered hard with those rows. And then we finished up with rear delt flies, which also, by the way, were the side delts. A lot of people who haven't looked at the data don't realize they give full activation of the side delt too. All right, so it got 6 work sets, not counting splash over. But it also finishes off the rear delts, rhomboids, mid traps, all that stuff. All right, so again, we worked everything completely. Pretty much every muscle in my upper body was worked pretty maximally here after hitting a training max. So again, bring it all up. But I'm picking some lifts that are going to have a little bit of specific carryover to my big 3. while still maximizing hypertrophy. But I'm very, very happy with today's workout. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.